So hello and welcome. My name is Katie with ProNotary. We are a remote online notarization software. And today I have Melina here. She is with the closing signing service. So thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely, my pleasure. It's an honor to be here with you.
Sure, thank you. So tell me a little bit about your business and how you've been able to build it and where you're at right now.
Okay, yes, as I started my notary signing agent business in 2019. I would say that was by coincidence that I discovered the business because I was asked to become a notary public to notarize paperwork document for the attorney I was working for at the time. And when I was doing the research how to become a notary public in the state of Florida, I discovered that there was something else called notary signing agent. And that caught my attention because we don't have that kind of career in my country where I'm from, Venezuela. So I was like, what is this about? And by doing the research, I thought that this is something that I could do because it's related to documents, to paperwork. And I don't know if you know, but I'm an attorney in Venezuela. So I felt super comfortable handling documents, even though that it was in another language. So that was kind of a struggle. But at the end of the day, being able to talk to people, handling documents was something that resonated with me. And that's how I decided to become a loan signing agent.
Nice. And then so you started as a basically your trajectory is very impressive, but you started as a regular notary, and then now you own a nationwide signing service. So can you explain a little bit about what it is that your business does?
Yeah, so I started as a notary signing agent, as I mentioned before, in 2019. My first year, I mean, when I first started, I did it as a part-time notary signing agent. 3 months later, I transitioned it to full-time loan signing agent. And I would say that by the time the pandemic hit, I became so much busier. And that was a time where I couldn't handle the transactions anymore I was doing. On a daily basis, I was taking care of 6, 7, 8 transactions. One occasion, I even did 11 closings in a day. Yes, I did. Traveling, because, I always say back to back is kind of easy. Being in an office, I'm doing the transaction one, the other, and the other, but traveling, I don't know. Do you know Miami? Have you
I
been here?
do, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I live in Broward County, which is in the middle between Miami and Palm Beach.
Mhm.
And I can guarantee that I was traveling the 3 counties in a day, in one single day. So when the time I was doing so many transactions per day,
Mhm.
that's when I had the idea of outsourcing the business to somebody else. But I always told my client, this notary is working with me. I know this notary, I have been training this notary, and they trusted me, which was kind of surprising because they were hiding me, and I was telling them I can do it myself, but I can send someone else to
Mhm.
you. And that's how it started, doing a few transactions. But in just a couple of months, I decided to establish the signing service, and I'm a take risker. I love taking risk. Sounds crazy, but I never do something small. When I started my signing service, I went for everything. So I had my website up and running. I did social media since day one. I had a huge database of clients, but by the time I think I was working with probably 25 title companies at the moment. That was a lot for only one
Yeah,
person.
yeah.
Yes. So that's why I think it was so easy at the beginning to start my signing service because I had the clients already. I
Mhm.
didn't struggling about, finding the clients. And because I'm a tail risker, I had the database since day one also. I did everything. I prepared everything because I was not expecting to run a large or a medium-sized signing service company, but I like to do things the right way. And I thought at the moment that was the right way to do it. And this is how everything started.
That's amazing. So, if you don't mind me asking, when you did start, how did you start working directly with different title companies? Because that's the majority of how you got your clients, correct?
Yes, correct. Well, at the beginning, I was part-time. I was working part-time, so my clients were signing service companies that I respect, and they're still in the business.
Mhm.
Then when I quit my full-time job, that was the moment that I was able to get direct clients. So at first, I was working for both. I was doing everything. I was not, I mean, for me, even though that, I understand the money is important
Mhm.
for me was started, and I was taking the $75 appointment and the 150, and I was happy with everything due to the fact that I'm an immigrant and I was struggling before coming to the US. So I'm very grateful since day one about the business. It doesn't matter how much I'm doing now, I can forget how everything started. And I'm super grateful about every single step that I have taken to be where I am today. So answer your question, I only had signing service at first.
Mhm.
Then it was a combination of signing services and title companies and attorneys. And later on, when I started my signing service, I was no longer working for signing services, only for my direct clients. And then, it was growing the best way possible.
And then one of the other things I wanted to highlight is something that sets you apart is that you pay more than the average signing service or what you can typically expect. And I just wanted to thank you for that because there is a lot of stuff that goes into doing the actual notarization. But then I also wanted to ask you a couple questions of what are the typical things that you see for when you are like working as a signing service, like the back end stuff that nobody really knows about.
Right, right. Well, I want to say something with regards the notary fee because that is absolutely important to me. Uh, those notaries who knows me like in a personally space, they know that I will never forget how I started. I'm a notary signing. I consider myself still a notary signing agent. Running a signing service is challenging and
Mhm.
it's an additional job, but I will never forget my roots, how I started. So I value the job the notary is doing out there because I think I'm smart. And I don't think having a business without my notary partners, it doesn't exist. So I can do this alone. I can do this by myself.
Mhm.
Why do I want the money all for me? That's kind of selfish for
Mhm.
saying that way. And I think that by being fair, something is going to come back to you in return. I believe in that. I believe in God. I believe in maybe in karma. And I don't know. I think I'm an honest person, and I would never do to others or I would treat others the way I would like to be treated. And
Mhm.
if that means make less money, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So what happened? You have no clue. It's super, super, super stressful. Being honest with you, I thought that having a signing service would be hiding Molinas all the time. And let's be honest, not everybody is going to be like you. I'm saying my name as an example, but it
Mhm.
could be Katie. Imagine you're running your own signing service company. I'm pretty sure that you're going to think that every single notary is going to act the way you would act, the way
Mhm.
you are. I recognize you as a very smart woman, a professional. You are well known in the industry, and I'm pretty sure that you would be expecting everybody to be the way you are. And
Mhm.
it's not. And it's not, and I need to understand that because everybody has their own personality, their own way to run the business. So it's not easy because of that. I
Mhm.
always say you are hiring someone else to do the job, and that is absolutely difficult to handle. Not everybody is going to react the same way. Not everybody is going to do the job the best way. Not everybody cares. And it's hard sometimes to know who cares about the business and who doesn't?
Mhm.
That's the most difficult part. Also, because we offer a 24/7 business, then we have to be there for our customers.
Mhm.
I have people working from Monday through Saturday, but yesterday, Sunday, we had so many transactions coming in that I was okay, maybe it's the time to hire someone on Sundays
Yeah.
because I want to have a life.
Mhm.
So yes, we are pretty busy since at least in my office we have I have 5 full-time employees like at the office
Mhm.
besides my marketing team. But I'm going to say talking about the operation, the scheduling process. I have people since 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. And before that, we're working, and after that, we're working. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and my husband,
Yeah.
who is helping me with the business.
Mhm.
We have issues all day long. It's just the nature of the business. We have situations, and even though we have handled 23,000 transactions since
Congratulations.
2020,
Yeah,
every
congratulations.
day something new happens. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
When you think nothing else is going to happen, it's impossible. Something new to
No,
happen
never think that.
happens.
Never think that.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
no.
happens.
Well, I mean, yeah, because imagine, okay, so like for any notaries that are out there, imagine that you have like your one notarization and like that's stressful, but then also try and manage all of the notarizations that Melina is taking care of, that's nationwide. So I can
Right.
even imagine like your stress capacity probably has to be pretty high as far as doing everything like that. But I also wanted to highlight that this is something that you can scale from, just starting out as a notary that's commissioned all the way up to a very successful and busy signing service. And so, I wanted to congratulate you on your
You.
journey and everything like that. One of the other things I wanted to segue to is how has Ron or remote online notarization impacted your business?
Well, because of this interview,
Yeah.
I decided to run. I don't like to run reports before the end of the month.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather to wait for the end of the month to come in. But I decided to run a report before the interview,
Hmm.
and I was shocked because remote online notarization, at least this month,
Yeah.
has been the most common transaction in our office.
Yeah.
That's absolutely impressive.
Mhm.
More than buyers packages, more than in-person sellers, more than everything. So is it spoil?
Well, that's great though, because
It
that's
is.
congratulations. That's
Thank you.
so when you market for your signing service, do you market Ron heavily? And have you noticed that that makes a difference?
Oh, we have to go back. I don't know if you know that I have been doing rounds since 2020, like me personally,
Oh.
even before the signing service start, because my signing service company started in August 2020, and I
Hmm.
have been doing round closings since the beginning. As soon as I knew, yes, I have been doing. Yes, no, that's awesome. Yes, I've been doing runs since the beginning, since the first trimester of 2020. And I was promoting my service to my clients,
Hmm.
but that back then it was not very popular. Not
Yeah.
everybody wanted to do the round.
Yeah.
So answering your question about the marketing, I market my run business along with my regular signing service company. So I
Hmm.
market both. It hasn't been, that's why I can't help notaries to market their run business because I don't know how to do it like as an individual.
Yeah.
Because I did it only for a few months and it was just, few transactions because was not very popular at the moment.
Hmm.
Wrong, it became popular later, and I had the signing service already. So I was marketing my run business with the signing company, which is different,
Hmm.
from a regular an individual notary, run notary. Yep.
Yeah. Do you mind if I ask like the number of runs like per month on average you usually do?
Oh, with my company, oh my goodness, I think it was like 350, I think.
That's good
Yeah.
though. That's good. So, like, do you have a specific, I'm going to get into questions that I think the notaries would usually ask. Do you have specific things that you look for as far as a remote online notary when you're choosing to work with them?
Oh, yes, definitely. At first, it was not easy, like a regular notary, an in-person notary. What I like the most about a remote online notary is their patience, because everybody believes the remote online notarization is easier than an in-person notarization, and it's not uh, in every single case.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's even more difficult and it takes more time.
Hmm.
So a notary who is patient and flexible and understanding that sometimes we won't have a computer savvy participant, a
Hmm.
computer savvy signer is going to be more challenging. Someone that understands that sometimes a transaction is going to take 15 minutes, but probably the other one is going to take 3 hours. And it's
Yeah.
just the way it is. And the payment is going to be the same for both transactions.
Yeah.
Yes. And be available. I understand sometimes you're busy doing other transactions or personal, taking care of personal commitments.
Hmm.
But those notaries who wants to do run and you send notification, they are never available, never available. Maybe I'm going to move forward to the next person in the list.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then that was a very big learning curve for me because going from in person to remote, like there's so much like IT that is involved and as a notary, it's like not your job to teach people how to like open emails or anything. But if you want the transaction to go
You
through
have to.
and you want to get paid, you're going to be the best IT person in the
I
entire
agree
world.
with you. I agree with you. I think my last one, I think it took me like 3 or 4 hours. Painful.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I understand it is what it is.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's going to happen, but I always think about what about the others?
It does the 5 minute ones where you make like $150 or whatever it is if you're going direct within 5 minutes, that makes it worth it for the times that you're just kind of trying to tell people how to take a picture of the ID and everything like that. So
Yes,
it,
exactly. No, I feel you. I feel
yeah,
you.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
Because I don't know. When new notaries ask me that they want to go and do remote line notarization before being an in-person notary, what do you think about that? What are your thoughts?
I mean, okay, so first of all, I always tell them to make sure that they know the laws of both the in-person, like what they're supposed to do. And then sometimes I think it's easier because then you don't have to, like, the printer is a very big cost. So if you have to buy the laser printer with the two dual tray, it can cost anywhere between $800 to whatever. And then you also have to do the driving and everything like that. So, I mean, for startup cost, it's just a laptop and then like a pair of headphones and then, some of the technology fee. Um, I
But do
also,
you think it's easy? It's easy go? I ask you because in my case was the opposite. I was an
yeah.
in-person notary and then I became a remote line notary. So I'm not sure about that. But maybe it's because I'm biased because you know what I mean. It's like going direct because I went with signing service companies and I think it took me like 30 appointments to become like confident
Mhm.
enough to go direct. That's what I think in my case it was better,
Yeah.
be working with signing services, and for me it was better be an in-person notary and then
Mhm.
switch to the next step. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken,
No,
I don't know.
okay. So the thing, okay, there's like pros and cons because the
Oh,
cons for doing the remote is that you have to learn being a notary, you have to learn the guidelines, you have to learn all of that, and you have to learn the tech. So that is one thing that is tricky because it's like, hey, here's this brand new industry that you have to learn, and it's important because you're doing important things.
right.
and you also have to learn all of this tech. So I don't know. I would almost think that it makes more sense to do everything. Um, I don't know. That's a good question. It kind of depends on the person because I would do almost anything to not have to drive to different appointments.
Yeah, of course. But
And
were you an in-person notary?
yeah, I was an in-person. Yeah, I was an in-person notary. I've been a notary for
But it's
about
the same situation.
11 years. Yeah. So
Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was for the
When
bank.
you were a child, you were a notary?
You
I'm confused. What are you talking about? Katie.
we can talk about how old I am off camera, but yeah, so it's yeah. So I think I started, I don't know, back in maybe 2000, I don't know. Yeah, a while ago. Um
Okay, you're not that young.
no, I'm not. I'm 33.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, but thanks for the confidence boost. But yeah, so I've been a notary for 11 years. I started in person, and if I probably could have, I would have just gone, like nothing beats doing everything from your house, you know?
Okay. I don't regret being an in-person notary. I think it gave me, I don't know, I felt so fulfilled. I
Yeah.
love what I experienced, you know? The long drive.
No, see,
You know what? I think I have the character I have now because of that.
I
All
think
experiences are good, I think. I don't know.
I got lost all the time though. That was the thing, is like, yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
that's the thing. I would end up in places that were like not anywhere near where I was supposed to be. And I was like, Katie, you're not making good choices right now. Like this is not a good idea. So I like it because I'm just at home. Um
I love it too.
yeah. So yeah, if you can, if it's available in your state, I would just jump into it. Um, and then also, like, I think a hybrid approach is also pretty nice because there's nothing, I don't always like to promote this, but there's nothing really stopping you from, if you do pick up some of the different notarizations, if you can find a quiet place to be able to do notarizations. I know people have done them in their car with a hotspot. So if you are doing an
I
in-person,
have done crazy stuff with remote online notarization. Please don't ask me.
yeah. So, I mean, like that is one of the benefits of doing remote, is because you can travel anywhere within your commission state. So like,
Yes.
yeah, like I've gone over to Miami and then like done notarizations in my hotel room and then gone off and like,
That's awesome.
walked around and gone to Wynwood and stuff like that. So I enjoy it. Um, it's just another learning curve, but like in person is still another.
Yes.
I could never get, this is my thing, is I always had a hard time with scheduling the time frames because people like to talk during the notarizations, and I'm like, I don't know how you did 8 to 12, because I'm like, all right, let's go, and then they'd be like, no, like, telling me their life story. So that was always a struggle for me. And for remote, it's a little bit quicker because everybody wants to get everything quickly done and then we're off.
Right, right. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I
so
mean scheduling in-person closing, that's not easy.
it's
It's
hard.
not.
It's hard. I
And
know.
with the late documents and the mistakes, oh my gosh. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not easy.
Do you actually have any advice for in-person scheduling for the notary, like how to keep the pace and like get everything going?
To be kind of safe, leave
Mhm.
2 hours between one appointment and the other.
Mhm.
And even though something could go wrong
Yeah.
with late documents and mistakes, yes.
Yeah. That's kind of the same for remote, is like I still, like any of the notaries that I work with or any of the like notarization that I do, I still have that time frame where it's like, okay,
Right, 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 right. And
yeah.
the other thing that I would advise is to invest in the portable scanner, because we have to scan documents back for review, for funding, approval. So I think that investing in the scan, in the portable scan is gonna be a big change for that notary, because they don't have to drive back home to scan the document and then go to the other appointment. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the other thing that I wanted to kind of touch on is a little bit of a change that you have had, but I wanted to introduce that you do coaching and you have a course out. If you want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I have Notary Business Guidance, which is training program that I started in 2021. Because I think I mentioned before, when I started the signing service, I was expecting every notary to be on point,
Mhm. Yeah.
doing what they were supposed to do. We're getting paid to do something, and I'm expecting people to do that.
Mhm.
So when I realized that that was not the case, and so many mistakes are made at the closing table or even in general, I decided to give some classes, live classes.
Mhm.
That was something that I did back then in 2021. But I was exhausted. Classes every single weekend. So at the end, I decided to record two classes, one in Spanish and the other one in English.
Mhm.
And I was sharing that with people. I shared that with people for a long time. Then I couldn't do it anymore because I was representing another brand. Then I decided to do something, which is the app. So what I did was to record 40 classes that I separate into, but oh, wait a minute. Don't go crazy. Most of them are short classes.
Mhm.
You will find like 2, 3 minutes videos, but then you will have others like 10 or 15 or maybe 30 minutes. It depends. It depends on the topic I'm talking about. But the point is that when I started my signing service, I realized that not everybody was doing a good job.
Yeah.
And that was what I was teaching about how to do the closings correctly
Mhm.
and how to some I realized that not everybody understood how to get into the business,
Yeah.
so they were certified, they were trained, but they didn't know where to start, how to do it.
Mhm.
And I knew it because I did it as a notary signing agent, and now I was a signing service owner. So what I did was last year I decided to bring back notary business guidance, which is the train of my program, but not like a recording class, but instead a super cool app. And the reason I haven't talked about this before in public, but the reason why I decided to do an app is because I'm a course buyer. I love buying courses.
Mhm.
I love learning about different topics. And I realize that sometimes I buy a course and I don't even remember the instructor's name, the name of
Um,
the course,
yeah.
how can I find it? Maybe I buy the course, an emotional purchase, and then I don't remember
Yeah.
where, and because I have several email addresses, sometimes I don't remember which email address I use. This is true. This is absolutely true.
I've done
And
the same thing. Yeah, I know exactly
I'm
what
not
you're talking about.
alone. I'm
Yeah.
not alone.
No.
So I thought, what about, I think it's easier to
Mhm.
have, the app in your phone. It won't go anywhere,
Yeah.
anywhere.
No, that's 100% because like I also love ongoing learning. Like I'm an ongoing
Yes, yes,
student
education
forever.
is important.
And yeah, no, I think that that's a brilliant idea because I have done that where it's like, oh, I'm gonna buy this, how to set up the lighting for your podcast, and then it's just I have no idea where it is. So that is a good idea for that. Yeah, that's brilliant. So thank
Yes, and with regards to the content, I have to say that I put together everything that I have learned, not only as a notary signing agent, but also as a signing service owner. I see all kind of mistakes every single day in my office. So
Mhm.
I was explaining notaries one by one.
Yeah.
My community, my audience can tell you that I call them to explain them one by one
Mhm.
what they did wrong, even though that sometimes those errors are fixed.
Yeah.
But I like to call my notaries and tell, because I don't want them to make the same mistake over and over and over, not only with me, but with every other company they're working with, right?
Mhm.
So I said there must be a better way. There must be a smarter way to do it than calling notaries one by one. I got tired of
Yeah.
doing that. And that's what I put everything together. It took me like 2 months and a half to put everything together, to do the presentation, to record the videos, to launch the app, which, by the way, I did it myself with a course that I bought.
Nice.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember the course because it was an app.
Yeah. Well, like see, that's what I love about I find it so aggravating when people are very skeptical about like non-traditional ways of education. So like obviously, yeah, you can go to college, you can go to school and everything like that. And like I've done that too. But I've found more value from the courses that I've bought or like the mentorship programs that I've done than anything that I learned in college. You know, like I framed my notary commission over my degree because I'm like, this is what actually makes me money. So,
That's true.
mhm. But I think that it's almost ignorant to not think of always learning and needing to level up or just, like there's no one alive that like knows everything. And so I think that using other people's resources or other people's content as education is
Right.
amazing.
My training does not substitute the other trainings. So I'm not teaching people how to become a loan signing agent because there are so many courses out there offering that. This is
Yeah.
more like real life.
Hmm.
So this is the example that I always, what is your career? What is your profession?
Like before this,
Yes.
I was in finance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Imagine going to college, university, and getting your degree.
Hmm.
How do you feel after you get your certification or your diploma or you're lost? That's what
Yeah, I
usually
was like,
happens.
okay, well now what?
Now what?
Yeah.
That's the exact phrase I wanted to say. Now
Mhm.
what?
Yeah.
I'm notary business guidance is a now what. People, they're lost. They don't know what to do. They don't know where to go. They don't know how to start. Even though that they are trained, even though that they have the certification, even though they have the knowledge
Yeah.
to start the business, they don't know how to do it. So notary business guidance is that. It's like taking people hand to hand, like, yeah, I'm gonna teach you
Hmm.
what you have to do, how you're gonna do it. And the most beautiful part of the notary business guidance is I'm showing the other side. If
Hmm.
you're not a signing service owner, you don't know what is happening on the other side.
Yeah.
And having that view is going to make you understand the business
Hmm.
and also about the mistakes that you probably don't know that you're making. So most notary think that they don't need notary business guidance because they're kind of experienced, which I understand. They
Yeah.
know how to explain the loan documents, but even experienced notaries are making so many mistakes executing the document, and that's what I'm teaching. And the feedback have been incredible,
Good.
incredible, and that's why I said this is the missing piece
Hmm.
to take off your notary business. This is the last piece that was missing.
Hmm.
And now people they're seeing things clearly about their career, and I'm giving them the confidence they need to start the business or move forward to the into the business.
Well, okay, so I am going to wrap this up, but how do we find you for both your course and then in general, like how do notaries that want to work with your company, how do they find you?
Yeah, you can find me everywhere as Melina Fuenmayor, which is my name on the closing signing service. I'm in every single social media channel. I'm grateful that I have a team who is helping me, putting the information out there because it's too much. It's too much work. But yes, you can go on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok is super funny because I'm not, I won't say that I'm not fan of TikTok, but because it's the newest platform, and
Hmm.
I was very, I was using Instagram more than any other platform, like personally.
Hmm.
And all the time, people are telling me, I see you on TikTok. I see you. I don't even get it. Someone else posting my videos, and I even don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, you can also visit my website, theclosingsigningservice.com. And with regards to the platform, to the app, please download Notary Business Guidance, either in Apple Store or Google Play. And you're going to download the app for free. You're going to be able to consume like free content. And after you watch the free content, you decide whether or not this is a good program for you. I guarantee it is.
Well, thank you so much for spending the time with me. I really appreciate it. And thank you.
My pleasure, Katie. You are amazing.